Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. This is your market update for Monday, March 4th. We're going to be taking a look today at a number of software stocks and also previewing Ciena earnings. But here I am with Chief Content Officer. We're going to be talking about the market first. The stock market's opened higher, then reversed lower, came back a little bit. How would you describe it today?
Well, you know, we've been thinking that we're going to get some sort of pullback, and the market's been doing fantastic. It's been a good start. I know a lot of people have been saying it's the best start since 1987, but that's kind of just a function of the calendar. The market happened to bottom right before the year began, and actually, when you go back to the last time the S&P fell more than 20%, it actually rallied 17% in 10 weeks from the bottom. Our market right now is up 20% off the bottom 10 weeks. So it's pretty normal for what happens. Actually, in 2011, in that last correction, there were actually 2 weeks where the market was down 3 and 4%. So we haven't had those kinds of pullbacks, but we definitely have been on kind of looking for one. And we kind of got it this morning. I think the S&P was down as much as 1.3%, which isn't all that bad, but compared to what we've been seeing lately, it definitely felt bad. But I think what made it feel worse was how some of those other stocks, especially leading stocks, reacted, especially software.
Yeah, software was really bad. I mean, HMOs continue to be just be getting killed, but software has really been a negative aspect. I mean, really the top industry group, top sector throughout this rally, some really negative action. You know, we had the iShares software ETF IGV, which wasn't as bad as some of the things out there, probably because Microsoft and a few other bigger names that aren't rallying as much came down, but that was down over 2% today.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it was down more than 3% at its low. And then, but again, when you know, when the market gets a cough, it seems like leaders get pneumonia or something like that. And ServiceNow. What's the other one we were looking at?
So CyberArk.
Oh yeah, CyberArk. You know, both, they were down like 6 and 7%. So, you know, big sell-offs, but they're up a lot. And so it's a whole lot easier to sit through a correction like that when you've got a nice profit gain. And they both closed well off their lows. Yeah,
I mean, if we take a look at IGV, just to give a sense of how, you know, that has done really, really well. You can see how powerful. That blue line there is the relative strength line. You know, so it's not just that we've rallied, but we've rallied well, you know, that sector has rallied well above, you know, the S&P 500, and that, you know, shows the strength there. If we could take a look at CyberArk, you know, that stock had some really powerful gains, earnings gap, a lot of good stuff. You know, but, you know, one of the things, this is why you want to buy at the proper point, you know, buy at the buy points, buy in the earnings gap. Don't just buy willy-nilly, because if you bought very recently, boy, today would have been really...
yeah, if you bought last week or something like that, you'd be really feeling terrible in the morning when you're down that much.
I mean, it's not fun in any case to see your portfolio down quite a bit if you have a number of these stocks, but nonetheless, if you have a gain, you know, the worst thing that can happen is you get shaken out and you take a profit. You know, ServiceNow is another one of the first ones that we sort of put on leaderboard, you know, about a month or so ago, as that one gapped out really powerfully and continued on, and you know, that was really positive action. But I think we can move on. You know, Ciena, and if we want to talk about, you know, absolutely maybe the market leader, it was powerful, the most powerful growth stock during the stock market correction, kept on making new highs, while everything else was just getting slammed, and really powerful. You know, that has earnings tomorrow. Earnings are expected to double. It's a little bit extended there, but you can see how well it did. I mean, you could not see a market correction really on that chart.
No, and the thing also, if you look at the relative strength line, and this is something that we were talking a lot during the correction, it was making new highs when the market was making new lows. And anytime you get that sort of, you know, really stellar relative strength in a market correction, that's the kind of stock that you want to keep an eye on for when the market turns. And sure enough, Ciena, you know, started rallying, and it's up nicely. It broke out of an ascending base last week, and it's a little extended from that buy point. So I'm not sure that if the earnings are really good, there's anything that you can do with this. Maybe you could add a little bit to your position. I wouldn't be opening a new position at this point. But I think it's more important for what it says about the sector overall. And is telecom still leading the way?
Yeah, the fiber optics, a lot of them sort of broke out after Ciena. I mean, Acacia, Viavi, there's some other names that aren't necessarily technically in the group, but Infi, Fabrinet has done well here and there.
Yeah.
That one had some choppiness, but that's really been strong. This earnings group, Ciena's supposed to have its third straight quarter of accelerating earnings growth. The whole earnings growth sector has rebounded. I mean, that's something to note. That's really been impressive in recent months. Anyway, that's what I think we'll do it for today. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. Come to investors.com for all the latest earnings and chart analysis. Also, Ken Shreve, he will be doing an AMA on Reddit tomorrow. Make sure to ask him about some complicated charts and Bitcoin.
Yes.
He loves those questions. He loves that.
We love to give him those questions.
Oh yeah, we love to give him those questions. And when we're sitting beside him, hey Ken, what do you think about this? Anyway, thanks again. Let's Quorum, and Ken Shreve will be back here tomorrow afternoon.